Hey, welcome to Financial Education Foundation. My name's Warren Shute, and I'm here today with the lovely Paul with his nice new haircut. Looking very sharp today, Paul. I like it.
Hello, Warren. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm very good today, actually. Very good. The sky is blue, and that means a lot to me. It's the low cloud that really gets to me. So when there's a blue sky, I think I'm a bit solar powered. I feel a bit happier. So I'm upbeat and jovial, more than normal, I think.
Well, that's good, because today we've got a dreaded subject to talk about, which is tax, and specifically self-assessment, which is just around the corner. So tell me about it. What's the situation?
Okay, so we have two key dates in our calendar year for tax: 31st of January, 31st of July. 31st of January is the significant one because that's when our self-assessment tax return deadline has to be submitted by. There are paper deadlines earlier, but this is the electronic online version, and it's the final cutoff. So unless you are one of the 10,000 people who submitted your tax return on Boxing Day or Christmas Day this year, you haven't done it yet, you need to get a wriggle on, okay? Because if you miss that deadline, there are penalties to pay. And we'll come on to those penalties in a second. But if you've done a tax return in the past, unless you have specifically been told by HMRC you don't need to do another one, even if you didn't pay any tax, you need to do the tax return. If you miss the tax return deadline, even if there's no tax to pay, you can still be penalised and have a penalty. Seems grossly unfair to me, but I don't make the rules. I'm just making sure that you understand the rules, okay? So if you've done a tax return in the past, or you think you need to do a tax return, do another one, or maybe call up the HMRC helpline, which I'm just going to look down and get you. So it's 0300 200 3310. We'll make sure that's in the notes which go with the video. So if you're seeing this on YouTube, you can go across to warrenshute.com, and all the videos, all the recordings are typed up as well. So if you've done a tax return before, you need to do another one unless you've been told specifically otherwise. If you have any income which is not taxed at source, so P-A-Y-E, earned income, you need to do a tax return. If you've got rental income, if you made a capital gain, I'm trying to think of other sort of examples, you need to do a tax return, okay? So make sure that your income is disclosed to HMRC so that they can assess you for the tax that you're due. Does that make sense?
Okay, and how do we go about doing this, particularly if this is the first time for some people? Where do we start?
Okay, so I'll put it in the notes. There's a link on self-assessment website. You can go on there. HMRC, in fairness, have done a really good job on this. So there's an online system, which is, I think, quite straightforward to do. And there are help videos as well. So what we'll do is we'll put in the show notes, as it were, links to the YouTube channel so you can follow those through. It's like everything in life, isn't it? Don't you think? If we haven't done something before, or we don't do it regularly, we don't normally like doing it. And in our mind, when we think about self-assessment, it's probably black and white or dark, or it's a little small image. And we think, oh, I would rather pull my nails out than complete my self-assessment. It doesn't have to be that way, guys. Just do what I do. We all want to do stuff we don't enjoy. When you're doing something you don't enjoy, make the most of it. So get your favorite music, get your favorite drink, get yourself comfortable, get all the information ready, get prepared, get it out, and then just sit down and say, I'm going to make this the best experience I can. Right, let's go. Get on the helpline, watch the YouTube videos, log into the system, but don't leave it to the last minute, because that just builds pressure, doesn't it? Leaving everything to the last minute builds pressure. Do it now, because then you can reflect on it and think, oh, I should have put that in there, and you can make changes. Okay, so go ahead. I'll let you talk because I rabble.
Well, I was just gonna ask, what kind of information do I need to prepare to get ready for this? What sort of things are they looking for?
Okay, so they're looking for any income information that you'll have. So P60s, for example, other income that you've generated. So if you've got any accounts that you've got, any dividends that you've declared, any dividends you've received from other companies, from shareholdings, that kind of thing. Anything within an ISA, that's exempt because it's tax-free. Any capital gains that you've made, just because you haven't made a taxable gain, if you've sold an asset which is four times more than your capital gains tax allowance, which is about £44,000, you still need to disclose it, although there's no tax to pay on that. So because the self-assessment is broken up in so many parts, it is a mammoth job. Another key thing is, if you have funded more into your pension than your annual allowance, So we've got a £40,000 annual allowance. That gets tapered if your income is over £110,000, £210,000 goes down to 10. If you exceed that, you've got an income tax charge on that. So it's a huge topic, far too much for any watcher to take all in a short little video like this. The key message for you is take action. Ring up that phone number, 0300 200 3310. That's the self-assessment helpline. Go online to the self-assessment YouTube channel. We'll put a link in the notes so you can then see the videos to help you do it. But take action and do it. And as you go through it, it'll say to you, you need to prove this, you need to show this. You'll get statements from your pension provider, you'll get a P60, P11D, that kind of thing. Now, very briefly, this is the crux of it. This is why you need action. If you miss the 31st of January deadline, there is a £100 penalty. So let me go back one stage. The penalties are split into two parts. One is to do with the self-assessment, one is to do with the tax. Let me cover the self-assessment, because that is just the declaration. Because obviously you could do the declaration and have no tax to pay, but there are still penalties if you miss that. So £100 if you miss the deadline on the 31st of January. Then it's £10 a day after 3 months. So if you don't do it for 3 months, then they start charging you £10 a day, up to £900 penalty. Then, if you're still 6 months in past the deadline, so we're now 1st of August, and you still haven't done your self-assessment, there's another £300 penalty on top of that. So we're up to 1,000, we're up to 1,300. And then if you've missed it for a year, so we're now this time 2020, and you still haven't done a self-assessment, there's another £300 penalty. So that's £1,600 penalty for just putting your finger up, guys, and let's just do it, okay? Now, on top of that, if there's tax to pay, 5% tax due on 5% penalty on the tax due, shall I say? 5% penalty on the tax due on the 1st of March. There's another 5% on top of that on the 1st of August, 6 months later. Another 5% on top of that on the 1st of February, so that's a year later. And if that's not bad enough, they charge you 3.25% interest at the moment. That changes with underlying interest rates for the privilege. So actually, add all those figures up, that's £1,720 for not just doing your tax return. Now, I don't know how much you earn, guys, okay, but it's probably not £1,720 an hour, okay, or even 800 or so pounds an hour. So just sit down, get a cup of tea, glass of wine, whatever your preferred beverage is, get the computer out and start going through it. Watch the YouTube videos and pick up the phone and ask the HMRC helpline. How was that? Is that all right? Is that a good enough message? Just want to help you.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think it's a pretty good message. Yeah, let's make sure we're taking action and getting out there, because those charges don't sound so good.
They don't, do they? They're pretty scary. I'd rather use them to book a holiday, I think. Brilliant. Thanks,
thank you very much, Warren.
Take care.